You know a lot of people.
What is this? Ovin, किधर कैमरा कर रखे हैं भाई? आपको देखना है? आप बताइए। किधर कैमरा कर रखे हैं भाई? आपको देखना है? अरे स्टेज इधर है, आप बताइए। आपको देखना है? अरे स्टेज इधर है, आप बताइए।
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
I, Padmashri, Surgeon at Arms, welcome all of you for today's meeting. Before we get started, let's first reflect on the mission of a Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in developing greater self-confidence and personal growth. Few reminders before we begin. I request you all to abstain from topics like politics, religion, and religious faith. Kindly switch off your mobiles or keep it in silent mode so as there won't be any disturbance during the meeting. The washrooms are on my right and so are the exit signs. May I now call upon the president of our club, Mr. Ovin Krista.
Thank you, Sergeant Tom, for that excellent opening. Ladies and gentlemen, please give her a round of applause as she has done this first time as a sergeant. She is a standing Sergeant Tom for this meeting. Fellow WMCians and esteemed guests, good afternoon. We are less in numbers, but we can make more noise. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, that's good. I call meeting number 484 to order. It's time to introduce our guests to the club. So starting from you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Madhuri. It's students, so you guys can be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abu Bakr. Nizam Pasha will call me Abu Bakr. I've been in Bahrain for good 10 years and I've been introduced to this group by Mr. Nani.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, we will introduce you formally, General Evaluator. You may say a couple of words and introduce yourself.
Mr. President, members of WMC Toastmasters Club and guests, good afternoon and and distinguished Toastmaster Pidambaran. Number of 5-6 clubs. Enjoying this journey of learning since last 4 years plus months. That's my age in Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You said 5, 6, then make it 7 joining our club. Okay, fine, we've introduced all our guests. If anyone joins later, we'll introduce them accordingly. Okay. Earlier this week, India's entry to Cannes Film Festival, All We Imagine as Light, directed by Payal Kapadia, won her the prestigious Grand Prix. This marks the first time an Indian woman has won this coveted award. Similarly, a former member of WMC Toastmasters is making waves in the film industry, not in India, but in Pakistan. His shorts film have been receiving numerous accolades worldwide. Our ex-member Shoaib Sultan recently won the Best Director Award for his short film Gunjal at the 14th edition of the prestigious Dadasaheb Phalke Award, the Dadasaheb Phalke Film Festival 2024 held in Delhi this year. It's 2024. Indeed, both of these achievements are fantastic news, isn't it? And they both deserve a round of applause for their efforts. We joined Toastmasters Club for various reasons. Some to develop their communication skills, some for leadership skills, and some for networking, among others. One moment, somebody. Okay. A beautiful aspect of Toastmasters is mentoring and providing feedback. How we deliver this feedback can profoundly impact an individual. Words can either diminish or destroy or create, encourage, and uplift. We are all familiar with the great inventor Thomas Alva Edison, RFE. What is this ineffable innovation? What did Thomas Alva Edison famous for? Bulb, yes, light. Legend has it that one day, as a small child, Thomas Edison came home from school and handed a paper to his mother. He said, "Mom, my teacher gave this paper to me and told me only you are." Please come. Please take your, yeah, use the door. Thomas Alva Edison said, "Mom, my teacher gave this paper to me and told me only you are to read it. What does it say?" Her eyes welled with tears as she read the letter aloud. "Your son is a genius. This school is too small for him, and its teachers are not competent enough to train him. Please teach him yourself." Many years after Edison's mother passed away, he stumbled upon the folded letter from his old teacher. He opened it to find a different message. It's written, "Your son is mentally deficient. We cannot allow him to attend our school anymore. He is expelled." Edison then wrote in his diary, "Thomas Alva Edison was a mentally deficient child whose mother turned him into the genius of the century." While the details of this story may not be entirely accurate, it is documented that Edison was called adult by his teacher, who believed he should no longer attend school. His mother became his greatest champion, and it was her encouragement, belief, and constant kind words that propelled Thomas Edison to become the great inventor he was. Similarly, when a speaker delivers his or her speech, the individual evaluator motivates and encourages the speaker, guiding them on how to improve, thus fostering their growth as a better speaker. The Toastmaster platform offers us the opportunity to become better speakers, better leaders, and ultimately better individuals. Rolf Smedley once said, we realize that two most important factors in Toastmasters are mentoring and evaluations. There is no doubt that if these two are done well, along with a good mentoring program, your club will be filled with spark plugs, ready to fire upon request. Mentoring and evaluation create enthusiasm, and once we ignite that fire, all it needs is some rekindling. Let's ignite that fire within us and strive to become better communicators and leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Repeat, time to edit the agenda. Hope all the role players are there. There is nothing. And someone may edit the agenda. Yes. Toastmaster Vivek has adopted the agenda, and someone can second. Toastmaster Saji has seconded the. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to introduce the Sutra MC of this evening. He made a rock star entry to Toastmasters and quickly became popular within both WMC and the Bahrain Toastmasters. He represented WMC in the international speech contest at the district level this year. As a mentor and coach by profession, he plays a crucial role in guiding others. Currently, he serves as our executive committee as the Vice President of Public Relationships. Inspired by the famous speech, I see something in you by world champion of public speaking, Dhananjaya Hitarachi, I do see something in Emmanuel to become a future world champion of public speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, without just here in Emmanuel, the founders of the it is yours, man.
Not quite sure how many of you want me to speak into the microphone unless you really want to go deaf this afternoon. So, right. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, so before we start off, we have one more guest who joined us a little later. So, could you please introduce yourself? Anything, as you wish.
Myself, I'm here in Berlin for the last 2 years, and currently I'm working with one of the which is quite forward. It is called Siva Logistics, and I'm from basically from India. Yeah, and yeah, that's what.
Welcome to WMC. So good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
So I don't like to stay in a comfortable place behind the podium because stage is where I try to largely stay. So very, very warm welcome to this afternoon, and I'll be your Toastmaster of the day, MC, whatever you would like to call me. So yeah, so it's I think it's the entire year. This is the first time I'm doing an important role in terms of playing as a role player in the last 1 year. So thank you, Owen, for that. I don't know how deserving I was for that introduction, but thank you for the introduction. So the theme that I have chosen for our meeting for this afternoon was of trying to understand how you have gained through this platform. Right? Because I know a lot of people who are veterans over here who've been coming to Toastmasters for many, many years.
Shall I switch on now?
Yes, please. We can just put that on the screen. So, and I was only wondering, how does Toastmasters actually help you? When I came in to Toastmasters a couple of years back, I was really very overwhelmed by WMC. But I had my reservations about Toastmasters International because I come from a very different school of public speaking, etc. So I was trying to align myself and see what I can get out of this. So fortunately, my unofficial mentor, who's not here today, was Kumar at that time. He was trying to tell me how I can align my goals towards Toastmasters and not having to see this as a different entity altogether. So I think he played a very pivotal role in helping me to understand that. And then I try to see what can I get out of this instead of saying, what is it giving me right now? And one statement really struck me was a statement that what you give is what you get. Right? So for me, it was all about what can I give, so what can I get out of this? So that's exactly what Suleiman told me, and he said that more than once, and he spoke to me. So I've always thought that a self-development, that when you want to work on your own development, it's about how much do you give in. That's what you get out. Right? So I'm going to do a small exercise with all of you to make you understand. So the theme is about growing with Toastmasters and developing a growth mindset. If any of you care enough to zoom into that flyer that I sent a few days ago. So it says a little bit about growth mindset, right? So I'm going to do a small exercise with you. So can you all hold your hands? Okay, great. How many of you have your left hand on the top of your right hand? Okay. Now, can you reverse this exercise and see if you can put your other hand underneath this and fold it and see, do you feel comfortable? Right? Some of us would have practiced this, so you might be comfortable. For most of us, it's not a very comfortable thing to do. Right? So, can we do another exercise? Let's cross our palms like this. Okay, so when you cross your palms like this, can you see which thumb is on the top? Is it the right thumb or the left thumb?
Few left, few right.
Yeah. So can you do the other way around? Can you put your left thumb on the top of your head? Do you feel the same comfort you felt when you simply did that? No. So what does that mean? That means every time you want to do something different in your life, your brain is trying to tell you that's not okay. Go back into what we say as called as comfort zone. And that's exactly what most of us struggle with. We want to grow, and yet we find it so difficult to come up. Because the same brain that has taught you to adapt as one of the longest surviving species on the planet has also got the mechanism to defend you from changing. So this is why we all struggle with change. So my theme was about how can I use Toastmasters as a platform to improve, change, and not be in my comfort zone. So every time somebody would come and challenge me about what I was doing, there was one instance I remember, Panaman came and told me, humor is not your strength. You should come out of your comfort zone and try to do more humor. And every time I tried to develop a speech in the contest for the last 6 months, I was struggling with getting humor because I'm a very serious person here. You might see me smiling and all that, but otherwise I'm a very serious person. So I was struggling with all that. So what I was trying to tell you is that I had to break that. Go on the internet, look at comedians, look at a lot of that, and try to come up with something where I can naturally be humorous. Sorry, gentlemen who always qualified for the humorous speeches. That's the struggle for me. So that's what my problem is. So what I'm trying to say is that we always have to try something out of the comfort zone. And that's how you grow. So if you've been here this afternoon for whatever number of years you've spent in Toastmasters, WMC, invariably, what have you learned? Is the question. Why are you coming here? What's your objective? Is it because we all get together, we have a great cordial connection with each other every alternate Friday, a bunch of speakers, non-speakers, and then have some snacks and get out? Or is it because of something else? I mean, what is your purpose? What's driving you to come here? What's driving you to take up roles? What's driving you to be in the ex-con? Whatever that you're doing within here, is it about being in comfort zone? Or are you trying something different? That's the question. So having a growth mindset is what we're going to be covering. So that's enough for the introduction because I don't want to take a lot of the time. And I'm going to keep interjecting my words of wisdom in terms of how, because this is change management is my area of specialization as well. When I coach people, mentor people, how to move out of your comfort zone, do something different, and that's how you grow. Breaking patterns, which the brain does not want you to follow. That's why we find it difficult to adapt to any kind of habit in our life. So the challenge today, I want you to start by thinking and reflecting. Why am I coming here every alternate Friday? And for those who don't come here at all and still pay the membership fees, and I hope they're watching this online. So what are you doing in Toastmasters? Right? So that's the question we're going to start off with. But as we proceed, obviously we're having our role players today, and I'm going to start calling on our role players. So our first role player is going to be our grammarian of the day. And I went around asking people like everybody else does, how do you want to be introduced when you are? So, there's no surprises about the people. You already have the agenda. So I'm going to get to the direct introducing people. So Hita, good afternoon, is going to be our grammarian. She joined Toastmasters very recently, driven by passion for personal growth and effective communication, and loves to celebrate the beauty and of acceptance and happiness without judgment. So that's a great introduction. But honestly, a few weeks back, I was a little scared of you. You know why? Because somebody asked you, what do you think about women and men associating? And you loudly said, all men usually come falling onto women. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to go anywhere near this lady because I don't want to be judged. So that's an image of you. So pardon me for all the role players because I'm going to introduce you the way I know you. If you've not shown me how you wanted to be introduced. So along with your introduction, the Hita Graveri, over to you.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, Emmanuel, for that unexpected introduction. Really, that was a shocking introduction to me. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, and I'm honored to serve as your grammarian today. The role of the grammarian is to help everyone improve their language skills, to listen attentively to the speakers, and to provide constructive feedback on their use of English language. To help expand our vocabulary, I have chosen word of the day for our meeting. Today's word of the day is ineffable. Ineffable means too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. Here are a couple of examples. The beauty of the sunset over the ocean was ineffable, leaving everyone speechless. She felt an ineffable joy when she held her newborn baby for the first time. Another example, the happiness he felt on his wedding day was ineffable. I encourage everyone to use the word of the day as much as possible during the meeting. Throughout the meeting, I will be listening to each speaker and paying close attention to their use of language. I will be noting the effective use of words as well as any grammatical errors, mispronunciation, or misuse of words. Additionally, I will highlight any particularly creative or impactful phrases. At the end of the meeting, I will present my grammarian report providing feedback on the overall use of language as well as specific examples of both strengths and areas for improvement. Thank you, and I look forward to listening to all of the speeches and contributions today. Let's have an ineffably fantastic meeting.
Thank you, Heda. Our next role player is going to be the timer for the day. That's Vivek. So, Vivek gave me the liberty to introduce him as the way I want to. So there was this a few weeks back, I think towards the end of last year, when he walked in one day, and a lot of people already know him in Toastmasters. And the first impression, like, who is this guy? He's very sophisticated, obviously, with his prim and proper suit and tie and all of that stuff. So I was wondering, but he refused to associate and speak to everybody. He had very select people around whom he was talking to. And I was like, wow, okay. So, because he clearly knew that there were a lot of other people, but obviously he was very familiar. But then I was like, okay, let's see when this dude is going to come and talk, right? Like, that kind of a thing. But then it went on for a couple of times when I saw him, he really did make an attempt. So finally, I went and reached out to him at some point, taking an excuse. And now, of course, we know him, but I talk to him once in a while. But I always see him as somebody who's very prim and proper and very particular about how he carries himself. And he's also very, very meticulous about what I've seen his judgments. He's a very meticulous person. Excellent eye for detail is what I've always seen about you. But he claims he's an introvert, which I don't know very well, but you haven't spoken to me, so fair enough. You're an introvert, maybe. But good afternoon, Vivek, and over to you for being the timer.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I'm the second person to get shot. Yes. If you want the radio, all right, so my role for today is the timer's role. The bad news is time flies, but the good news is you're the pilot. What's the theme? The theme is growing with Toastmasters. Growth is related to time. You cannot explain it in a different fashion. And in Toastmasters, why time? Well, the idea of Toastmasters is communicating effectively. Communicate effectively, you have to use your time wisely. Make it compact, make it condensed, and give your audience enough that they are satisfied but don't bore them. For that, we need the timer's role. Now, quite a few of us have given speeches and we have seen the red light and we have come across palpitations and we have been in a state of ineffable, right? Not positively, negatively. So I wanted to avoid that and I'm here to help you out with how. We have two types. We have two speeches. We have an icebreaker speech. We have a regular speech. The icebreaker, 4 to 6 minutes, 4 minutes green, 5 minutes yellow, 6 minutes red, and 30 seconds after that, I'm going to give you a lesson. All right. So for the regular speech, it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red, 30 seconds yellow. In table topics, the timing is 2 minutes, 1 minute green, 1 minute 30 seconds yellow, 2 minutes red, 30 seconds later, and pink. And in evaluation, 2 to 3 minutes, you have more time. So 2 minutes green, 2 minutes 30 seconds yellow, 3 minutes red, all right? Don't be flustered, don't be nervous when you get the thing. With that, I hand over the control back to the team.
Thank you, Vivek, for that ineffable introduction again of being a timer. And our next role player is going to be Subramanian, who happens to be handling the art counter. So Subramanian and me, we know each other. We have a personal bond as well because he's been one of my mentees in the past and who officially got coached. quite an introverted person, and he was very, when he came one day, he walked into Toastmasters, I think last year sometime, and he was a little intimidated by the crowd. Most of us here are loud, including myself, right? So obviously, new people get a little overwhelmed coming into a gathering like this. We're all always very affable, but definitely, he was one person who came up to me and said, your speech was good and all that stuff. So we connected very well. Otherwise, a very introverted person, Subramani. Thank you. I know a lot about you, but we don't have the time. So over to you for being the art counter. Thank you.
Thank you, K. Modi. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Here I am the art counter, and I'll be listening to the speaker, and I'll be noticing some inappropriate words or sounds like filler words. Okay, so like I well, these words, and also the repeated words. I have not been listening. Okay, this kind of repeated words I'll be noticing, and I will report at the end of the meeting when everybody asks. It is my role. Thank you for all the best.
Right. So we move on to our education session. We have two speakers this afternoon. And our first speaker is going to be Anita Kumari, who's having her icebreaker speech. So to talk about Anita, we have to first understand that she's a doctor, right? I mean, I got to know that a little later because she's a very fun-loving person in general, and she never goes by the title of being a doctor. For that matter, I don't believe in titles, so you'll hardly see me addressing you as TM or DTM and all that stuff. Your identity is your name, and that's what I strongly believe in. So I don't believe in carrying titles and labels. So Anita is very fun-loving, and recently we danced together in the family day, but we haven't got to know each other. This last week, I think she was asking me about speech details and all of that. But otherwise, a very, very jovial person, Anita. So thank you. I'm going to your evaluator right now. Your evaluator is Murli? Yep. Right. So Murli, what do we say about Murli? Right. Very, very friendly guy. I mean, you'll never see Murli having loggerheads with anybody, right? Like you'll never see Murli having a conflict with anybody. Murli, the guy who would be like, okay, that's conflict. I can smell that. I'm out of that place. Right. So that's the kind of guy he is. No drama, no nonsense. So that's about him. Has a great sense of humor, which I envy, which I don't have. So I think that's there. Murli also happens to be very known to me because his brother is someone I know from my college days. So that's how I know him. But very fun loving. You will never see Murli not smiling at any situation. So I've never seen him serious, right? So that's it. So Murli, being your evaluator, can you read out the speech objectives of your speaker today, please?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Now it's just.
Get that face on. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. I wish you the very best. Your icebreaker is to introduce yourself to the club, and everybody gets to know who Dr. Anita is.
Our next speaker is Saji, right? Again, another. So, for she speak, right? Anita, please come over.
Let us see it there.
Speech title.
Speech title.
I don't know what is.
Breaking the ice, Anita Kumar.
Yes.
Before joining this Toastmasters, The only other occasion where I had heard about this icebreaker was in my son's karate class. Every week he will put water into the freezer, make thin slices of ice and take it to his class and try to break them. And he has not succeeded in it yet. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, my fellow Toastmasters. I am here to read my icebreaker speech. I was the eldest to my parents, and I have 3 siblings. Both my parents are doctors of Tamil origin, and they had migrated to and settled in Kerala before our time. Now, growing up in a rural Kerala, I had faced many insecurities. I was very tall, thin, dark, and I wore big spectacles, and I was painfully shy. In fact, I was the exact opposite of what was thought of as a pretty girl those days. And as I said, I was painfully shy. I grew up an introvert. I had very few good friends. To add to my woes, I was also very nice, innocent, and everybody used to fool me. I'll give you one example. I was maybe 12 or 13 that time. I was alone at home, and some salesperson had come to sell gas stove accessories. And I very casually led them into my house and my kitchen. Much to the shock of my returning mother, who would find 2 grown men in her kitchen pottering around, and I was watching the proceedings very calmly. It is sufficient to say that to this day, this is being retold as a horror story to even the next generation of my household. What would you have done if they were kidnappers or robbers? Actually, I still don't know the answer to that question. And my saving grace those days was my memory. It used to be picture perfect. And I was very good in academics. I scored state ranks in both 10th and 12th. I was Kerala first rank holder for the postgraduate examination. It was followed by vigorous years of training in both medicine and then radiology. But as I grew up, my insecurities and my complexes, they grew up with me. I was as shy as ever. I was considered an introvert, a bookworm, and I had very few good friends. Came mid-20s, and I got married to a good man. He would encourage me tremendously, and then my son came along. And this little person, he would also change me beyond the widest of my imaginations. But that part of my story is something different altogether, which I will not be touching on today. And then came the 30s, the next phase in my life. I hit my 30s. Something profound happened to me actually. It was more about myself now. I wanted to become my best possible version. And I realized that I no longer cared much about what other people thought about me. I told myself, you're tall and thin, flaunt it. You're not dark or fair, you're a golden brown, the color of your ancestors. It is your heritage. Be proud. You wear big spectacles. So what? It's also part of your identity. Embrace yourself in entirety. And in that process, help others like you too. So it became more about myself now. I started doing new things, taking risks. I basically came out of my comfort zone. I started taking dancing lessons, drawing lessons, and I tried my hand at writing, journaling, designing. I even participated in some dancing competitions, drawing and painting competitions, and much to even my own surprise, I started winning prizes also. But the winning of the prizes, it's a bonus actually. But what I really enjoy is the process of my letting go, of my trying new things, of my coming out of the comfort zone and taking risks, and treating each day as if it is a new adventure waiting to be unfolded. I thoroughly enjoy this process. And my joining this Toastmaster is also part of this journey of mine, a very long journey and an ongoing journey. Yeah. Now that I have done it, I have given my icebreaker. I think I become the first in my household to officially break the ice. And I guess I will not be letting any more strange men into my house anymore. But you know, I sometimes do really miss that naive and innocent little girl that I was. It is all very wishful thinking, but I wish I could go back in time and tell my younger self that I was enough. I have always been enough, but the realization of the truth, that realization it came really, really late. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, Anita. Well done on breaking the ice. So, how was your experience breaking the ice this afternoon? Right. So, does anybody notice something about her speech which is very evolved for an icebreaker speech? Did anybody notice from Toastmasters standards, her icebreaker speech was very evolved already. And what do you think was the speciality of the speech? Any guesses?
Sincere.
Anything else?
Personal story.
Personal story, that's it. So her entire speech was about trying to structure her entire story, which leaves an impact. And I've always been told that in Toastmasters, from the time I came coming, try to construct a personal story because it leaves an impact. So well done on you. Right. Our next speaker is going to be Saji, but before I introduce Saji, I'm going to go introduce his evaluator, which is Yashwant. So Yash is one of our great speakers in numerous speeches and has represented WMC at various levels. And of course, another thing that I always like about him is that he's very jovial, he's very friendly, and he's very approachable as well. And so that's one thing that I've always liked about him. He'll always come up and say hello, and he's very approachable. I think he's also been in Toastmasters for a long time. I really don't know how many years you've been, but I really think. Right. So, Yash, good afternoon. Could you give us the speech title and objectives of Saji?
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day. Good afternoon, everyone. The Toastmasters Saji is attending level 2 project 3 from presentation mastery. And the purpose of the speech is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. Time allowed is 5 to 7 minutes. Wish you all the best, Toastmasters Saji. Over to you.
So when it comes to Saji again, I know Saji even before he walked into WMC because we used to work out together in the gym. And for some reason, Saji is a person who will not speak aloud, right? So this, every time you try to talk to him, his speech to you will be very minimal, very much to the point, and not too much. You know there are two types of doctors. The doctor that you go to and you wish they would keep talking to you and they not explain the problem properly. And there are other doctors who keep talking and then you wish they shut them up. So this is the first type who the doctor will not give you the explanation but only the medicine and the prescription. So that's the kind of personality he is. But otherwise a very personal and a very pleasant personality. So great on that, Saji, and I wish you all the best. Please come over. So his speech title is My Mentor, Saji Kumar.
How many of you joined Toastmasters just to develop public speaking? So for developing leadership skills, how many of you joined? Then the last one, communication, interaction, chit chat, just to get familiarized, socialize. Usually in our medical, there is something called all of the above. So anyone for all of the above? I am from the none of the above group. I joined Toastmasters, specifically WMC, just because my mentor told. Good evening, Toastmasters. Hello, Toastmasters, Toastmasters of the day. Yes. During my college days, I was a goat. not that good, like the greatest of all times. I was a scapegoat. In college days, there used to be one post called class leader, kind of thing. Not that leader in medical school, just to arrange classes to make everything set. So I was doing that for the last 3 years in my MBBS. The only difficult job is you have to there present in all the classes because without your classes won't run. Imagine a college student without bunking a class, you should be there every other day for the whole of my curriculum. Then it's okay. I got my master's, I said, okay, enough of this uh, class thing. Will just be a normal course. But then destiny, I was during my masters also. I used to be class because I think it was written in the face like okay, this is a scapegoat, let's use them. So I was a scapegoat for another 3 years. Then after that, fine, I said okay. 5 years, I had enough time to develop my public speaking, but every time there's as it's said like I used to be in the comfort zone and be in the comfort zone this year. Then 5 years back, joined AMH. I was doing things that just like our speaker said, you have to go out of the comfort zone. So I joined. Okay, I thought let's develop some public speaking, and there used to be something called Speechcraft, from WMC. So I joined the Speechcraft. There I got introduced to WMC, and my first teacher, the VDM Rekha, and my mentor, Dr. Babu. Unfortunately, both of them are not available today. So after Speechcraft, I got more interest in public speaking, but then little hesitant to join the meetings. Any Toastmasters club, I just Speechcraft, fine, something is fine. That time Dr. Babu was not in our center. I am Amwaj, he's in SAR. So then he became a service head of our Amwaj. We all know how technically strong Dr. Babu. So I have a little technical knowledge, so I just became his technical assistant. So I used to do all these presentations for our service line to project to CEO kind of things. I just gave one presentation. I was like, sir, just have a look before presenting. You did not. Okay, it's like how did you? Just went there. He just seen the presentation for the first time. He was doing as if he presented, he made the slides. No matter, he became the champion in the table topics. Just impromptu speaking. That's where my mentoring started. My mentoring in mentoring started even before joining the Toastmasters. Then he used to get requests for doing this media speeches. Like he used to call me like I want to record a media speech. Can you do it for me? So I will record it with this so much ineffable experience. He does mistakes. He asks for repeat. We'll go for one more. I know times where he used to refine the speeches. I remember like 4 times or something. Then I had more interest. Like even with his experience, he's trying to bring the best out of it. After some 2 years, he just went back to the other center. I got a call from the new service center. Faji, can you come over? We have a presentation to do with the NHRA, like some other. I said, I have no idea. No, you've been with Dr. Babu, so you know things. I was like, fine, but I don't have the presentation. No, we had a presentation for the last year. We just go and present. Okay, that's where my first table topic is. First time, I am under who are just seeing a slide for the first time. With Dr. Babu in my mind, I did the presentation. At the end, he said it was the best presentation because he visited 3 other centers. We have 5 centers. He visited 3 centers. He said this is the best presentation. Did I do well or was he sleeping on the other? Anyways, that went well. Then I said, okay, I will join those. Anyway, I did the table topics better. After joining Toastmasters, over the I think 1 year, I developed my skills in such a way that earlier I used to have a recordings I need to take more time in preparing speech. Now the speech comes so fast that I can do because I'm just growing with Toastmasters. I'm just trying to be out of the comfort zone, and with my ineffable mentoring from Dr. Babu Ramchandran, I am grown to an age. So I am now growing from baby to an infant. From zero, I am now at 1 year of age. So this is how my journey in Toastmasters with my mentor, Dr. Ramchandran, who is not here, so I dedicate the speech to him. Thank you.
Thank you, Sajni. That was well done. I think that was back-to-back speeches, right? And he spoke in the last meeting, so congratulations on that. So, before we go on a break, I'm just going to ask you to reflect on certain words and phrases this afternoon, right? So, sometime back, I mentioned about the phrase called a growth mindset. Have you heard of this before? Right. So, what is a growth mindset? Or what is a mindset?
Acceptance to change.
Acceptance to change. Okay.
And get out of the comfort zone.
Get out of the comfort zone. So a growth mindset is a mindset that always wants to get better in every area, not only for the self, but also for the others around. The people who live with you, the people who work with you, the people who are with you, you always push them to get better in life. And you never stay in the comfort zone. So that is what the growth mindset is all about. So what's the opposite of a growth mindset? Fixed or stagnant mindset. So can we have a reality check of whether you have a growth mindset by asking a few questions? Right, Prabodha sir, can we go to? Right, so the first question is, have you stayed in the same job without a role change for the last 3 years?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Without a role change, right? So there is no change in your role. That's what, right? Okay, next question. Have you changed your daily routine in the last 2 years? Any change to your daily routine in the last 2 years?
No.
That's good. Right. Next question. Have you taken any risks in the last 1 year?
Yes.
Risk.
Yes.
Right? So risk is not about whether or not to cross the road. It's not about finding out whether you put your money, whether you want to get married or not, whether you want to have a child or not. All of that stuff. So these are all risks that people take. So if you've taken a risk, all right. The next question, please. Have you had any major changes in your life in the last 3 years? Like lifestyle changing changes, such as change of profession, moving a house, getting married, or any of that, any transformation in the last 3 years? There's one last question. Have you lost control of any situation in the last 1 year and you had to change your plan? Somewhere you went and you lost your control and you had to change plan, you had to have plan B. And you had to wait to do. Have you faced anything of significance that you didn't think of in the last month? And how did you, depending on how you manage that situation, is where you will understand whether or not you're in a fixed mindset. And another thing you have to ask yourself is, how do you respond to change? When somebody gives you a difference in opinion, when somebody says there's a different way of doing it, there's a different thing to do, there's a different thing to try, how do you respond? Whether it's your child or your spouse or your boss or your anybody in your life, how do you respond when something changes? So these are some things that you'd like to reflect on. And on that note, let's take a quick coffee break, I guess, and take a picture before.
Okay, please come to this side.
This side is better. That will be black.
This side.
No, you can take that to the sunlight. Maybe you can relax.
Stand 4, 5 chairs.
Someone in the city, why are you not coming to me? Or I am. Yeah, ladies. Why you always? No. You want to hide. All are in play.
1, 2, 1.
Thank you.
You did, no?
There's, I don't know, like, what is the lecture I don't have to.
Is it?
We should boost up the speed. Let's see how they do.
No, how is it right? Okay, why you are so busy?
You write well, so you can almost.
That is what, speaking was the first step. I can write.
All
I can write a speech.
Yes, the pointers. There's a language.
So just.
Pointers.
Because one time in the road, it's not coming, green is not coming, I have to at least to the green it has to.
That will happen.
Yeah.
Right?
With pointers, you can. Yeah.
कितना बजे? अभी अभी थोड़े इसके बाद 6 बजे हाँ 6 6 10 का हो जाएगा ना
6 10 हो जाएगा।
ये रिवर्स किधर है
You need any help?
now you have to get this winners and all for that
Your second name, Mahalakshmi?
Ananya.
Ananya. Okay. I will call you Ananya.
Yeah.
I will call you Mahalakshmi Ananya.
Yeah.
Oh. നിങ്ങൾ എന്താ പറഞ്ഞേ ഏത് വേണം
Yeah, same thing happens. She don't know, she was, no, she came that time and then just reported the follow up. No, he's going because he's scared of table.
That's a good point I wanted to talk about.
He's come. He's come.
No, but here, no, nobody, nobody.
Yes. Mr. Rathod, first time I'm waiting for 7 minutes. I remember somebody.
All right, welcome back, everybody, after the short break. So today I'm not on that side, so I'm not really missing the break. But otherwise, I'd like to stand there outside and socialize more than sitting here inside. But anyway, so we're back and I'm trying to keep a track of time as well. So in light of that, we're now going to move on to one of the most fearful thing about Toastmasters, I think, for a lot of people, right? So till today, I've not actually understood why this aspect of Toastmasters is called table topics, right? So I've never dug into the great grave of why this is called table topics. But other than that, I have seen in a lot of people having an issue with impromptu speaking in public speaking. Right? So one of the greatest challenges about in public speaking, this is something that everybody should know. How many of people in this world do you think fear public speaking?
90%.
Okay, what is the fear of public speaking called? It's called glossophobia, right? So glossophobia, and the percentage of you'll be surprised to know that it is the number one fear in the world. A staggering 83% of the human population fears public speaking, even more than the fear of death and darkness and heights and anxiety. 83% people are in public speaking. So the second most fearful thing, do you know what's the second most common fear?
Please fear of death. Snakes.
No, spiders. Arachnophobia.
What about cockroach?
In some countries they eat it, so I don't have to say that, right? So our table topic session is going to be conducted by. Right, our table topic session is going to be conducted by Ganapati. So, I mean, for the benefit of our guests, Ganapati is our very favorite musician. His starting of a speech, his ending of a speech, everywhere he will bring in music. Otherwise, a very friendly person. He's always there. He's one of our veterans in WMC. He was there right from the start, I think, and he speaks very well. And there was this one session that I will never forget, where in his speech he brought about the ragas, and that was the first time I understood the chakras and every raga that was there. I was like, wow, this is something I didn't know about classical music. So for me, it's anytime I look at you, I always associate you with music because of the way you bring that. And I think it's one of the most important aspects of life, because imagine a life without music, right? whatever genre of music you might like, imagine just a life without the tunes or the music. I don't think life would be what it is. So, without further ado, Ganapati, please take over the table topic session.
Thank you, Toastmaster Emmanuel, ineffable introduction. And for the benefit of just table topic session is um, one of the best session I would say, because there you can talk impromptu speaking, you can do it in front of the audience for 2 minutes. The table topics master will provide you the topics in line with the theme of the meeting. So our theme of the meeting is drawing with the Toastmasters. Yes, I'm one of the examples standing in front of you drawing with the Toastmasters. I have joined this club as a charter member in 2003. Still, I am continuing as a Toastmaster, even though I am absent from the meetings. But I am continuing as a Toastmaster. I was one of the past president of this club. Enjoying, and it gave me a lot of confidence talking in front of the audience. Basically, I came up from Kerala. I studied throughout my study was in Malayalam language. So talking in front of audience was a tough situation, and talking in English itself is a tough situation. So I have overcome this fear only because of my joined. And in 2003, our member Toastmaster Vani Krishnan asked me to join Toastmasters, and the remaining is history. Dr. Babu was the former president, and Suresh was the VP Education. So that was the history. So let's move on to the topic in line with our theme of the meeting. Topic number 1. If you had to start your Toastmaster journey all over again, how differently would you do it? If you had to start your Toastmaster journey all over again, how differently would you do it? May I ask this question to our beloved Toastmaster Pranam? Question clear? One second. If you had to start your Toastmaster journey all over again, how differently would you do it? Because you are a mentor, you are a counselor of Gamble Club, you are meeting with the new chief people. You know the Toastmaster syllabus, how the Toastmaster is growing. So how differently would you do it if you had a chance?
If it was different, that's a question we always ask. And the answer is, there are 1,000 ways it can be happen. But the truth is, this is the truth. What you have in front of you is the truth. Whatever may be the different ways. 12 years before, when I walked into this door, all the eyes was on me. I was afraid to face those gaze, and I looked down and I sat there without wanting to be noticed there. Now, after 12 years, when I walk into this room, if any of you did not pay attention to me, I would get offended. I want that attention. I still enjoy those attention. So I wouldn't do anything different. I would do the same thing which I did for the last 12 years. And how did I grow with Toastmasters? We all come here. Dr. Saji was asking, how many of you are here for public speaking? How many of you are here to build your leadership skills? If you ask him, how did I grow with Toastmasters? Many of our veteran Toastmasters, including Toastmaster Gillespie, regularly ask me questions, and those questions changed me as a person, as a Toastmaster. For example, Dr. Suresh had asked me a question that you allow your daughter to think freely, to read freely, but do you allow her to act freely? That one question changed my whole life. So you all be thinking that you're here to, or I'm here to improve my public speaking, or here to build my leadership skill. But I would say that I am here for you to ask me that question, which can change my life completely. The other question was, Ditya Brekautar, she told me one thing. Your wife is not your destiny. She is a companion. And that question changed me completely from that day. So for me, I have grown up with Toastmasters, not only in delivering my speeches, but also the way I am as a person. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for phenomenon. Move on to the next topic. Is a speaker born or made? Is a speaker born or made? May I ask this question to our guest, Toastmaster Mahalakshmi Nananya? Please welcome. What's your question? Is a speaker born or made? Question is whether a speaker is a born speaker, or through Toastmastering or any other institution, we can make a speaker. That's it.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First, okay, so we have different sets of people. You have your extroverts, your introverts, and your ambiverts. Right. Personally, I don't think anyone is born a speaker. An extrovert, yes. Can openly speak to everyone, yes. Born speaker, I believe not. Speaking is an activity where you're able to put out whatever you want to tell to a person in more in like proper and effective words. I don't think anyone is born a speaker. You learn through Toastmasters or through other means. You learn how to phrase your words properly. You learn how to express those words properly. You learn how to communicate in a way that the other person understands what you're trying to communicate. Right. So I believe people are made speakers. Same thing when it goes to different activities of your life. No one is born a dancer, no one is born a singer. An interest in it, wanting to do it, yes. But the immediate how do I say this? The immediate skills of like, oh, I can do it. The basic how do I put this word? The basic interest or like the basic skills you learn for yourself, yes, but how you grow upon it is when you go through different institutes, and that's how you become a great speaker.
Thank you. Move on to the next topic. What is your biggest fear in life? What is your biggest fear in life? May I ask this question to Toastmaster Abu Bakr?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
What is your biggest fear in life?
There are many different types of fears. And the biggest fear, as you can see, this is what it is. I'll just start with the incident. Many years back, my manager asked me, MC was missing for an event like this. The manager asked me, would you be able to take up the MC? And my answer was, I'm happy to resign right away. I can go back, but I'm not going to go on the podium. So yeah, stage fear, stage fright, that has been the biggest fear of my life. And I realized it many years back, and I understood I have lost many opportunities because of that. I could not speak freely in front of people. Forget about a large group, even a group of 4 people, I could not. And that's when I realized Toastmaster is a platform. I was looking for many platforms which will help me overcome this fear. I was looking for a mentor. I was looking for a coach who would train me secretly, to overcome this fear. But that was not possible. And luckily, I came across this platform, Toastmasters, which I was lucky to join back 2020-22. Initially, I found this platform. I found myself too cool to join this place. I found this was not the place for me, but I had the opportunity to join, and today I'm able to speak whatever is because of that platform. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. In line with our theme, to speak or to listen, what is the best approach for growing with Toastmasters? To speak or to listen, what is the best approach for growing with Toastmasters? May I ask this question to Toastmaster Roy's career?
Okay. I was busy in
To speak or to listen, what is the best approach for growing with Toastmasters?
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, and especially the TT Master. Toastmaster is always a great platform for, at least to me, I'm sure for everyone, to develop communication skills. When we talk about communication skills, it's not only just speaking, it's also listening. So to me, these both skills are very important. When we talk about listening skills, you can relate with your day-to-day life, in family as well as in your professional life. You have to listen to people and understand their feelings, understand what is happening around, and you make your assessment and decisions based on that. So, which is very critical for the success of our life itself. The second one, speaking. As a leader or as an individual, your success also depends on how you communicate with people. So if you are an effective leader, if you can effectively communicate, if you can effectively speak to the audience, especially to your team members, you will definitely be a successful person in your professional and personal life. So, in a nutshell, it is for me, and I believe for everyone, both these skills are vital. That's all. Thank you.
You don't just grow with Toastmasters, you enrich yourself. You don't just grow with Toastmasters, you enrich yourself. May I ask this question to Toastmaster Praboda Sarangi?
Before I joined the Toastmasters, I was actually little bit anger in my, always with my anger, when I faced my wife, so much of talking and talking and talking. I was a little hurt. But like what our previous speaker said, I learned how to listen. Even in area and division, not just 2 hours, I spent entire day to listening and to listening. Then as a judge, also I did a judging in many contests, listening and giving the marks. I realized, oh, I have to listen to her. I will not judge her, but I have to listen her. After that, at least my family life is now very good. She can talk, no problem. I am listening very calmly, working in my laptop, listening to her, talking to someone, listening, she is talking, and yes, going on. Life is very good. So Toastmaster actually changed my life. That is really a good thing. When I joined Toastmasters, and I realized that not only speaking, I have capability to listen. And that's a good capability, you know. So that is the reason I joined Toastmasters for listening, and then I took leadership role as well. Because what he's saying, I can take and make it proper way so that family will goes in a good manner. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Praboda, as a technical expert, whether online participant can come in any question? Is it all, can be?
Yes, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim.
I want to ask Master Abdul Rahim a question. Abdul Rahim, can you hear me? Toastmaster Abdul Rahim,
Yes,
can
sir.
you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
sir. Can you hear me?
Prabodha is a technical expert in our area contest, division contest, district contest, all the technical expert. So this is my last question.
So he is not.
Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, sir.
He's talking. He has to unmute himself.
Toastmaster, unmute yourself. Abdul Rahim, unmute, correct.
But actually is one minute.
Toastmaster, Abdul Rahim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
He can hear us. We can't hear him.
It's a problem from outside.
Yeah, the problem is.
Yeah, maybe this one is not working. Yeah.
Okay, so technically we are.
Anyway, okay.
Okay,
Yes.
can we cancel?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. No
Ah,
problem.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Abdul Rahim, question for you. Abdul Rahim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, very good. Nice to hear from you as well. And as a
Thank you.
veteran, experienced, long Toastmasters, one question for you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Is Toastmasters relevant today as it was 50 years old? Is Toastmasters relevant today as it was 50 years old? Question to you, Abdul Rahim. Please go ahead.
In this world today, I think the most important character that one person must have is authenticity, being yourself. I think Toastmaster is more relevant today than any time in history. Just because of that reason, people do not speak from their heart; they speak from their mouth. So what you do from mouth ends up in south. Table Topics Master Ganapati Narayanan, thank you very much for this beautiful topic. And I congratulate all the Toastmasters today, the role players. I missed the live action. Well, as I said, Toastmasters today is more relevant than any time in history, just because for the reason of authenticity. 5 years ago, I delivered a 20-minute speech in our club, WMC Toastmasters Club. I thought it was a great speech. And so did most of my fellow Toastmasters. But I really wanted to know how exactly the speech was. So during the break, I went to Toastmaster Manoj and I asked him, how was my speech, Manoj? He said one thing that I did not forget till now, and I will never forget. That was one of the best evaluations I ever heard. Rahim, your speech was good, but I missed Abdul Rahim today. What was it telling me? That your body language may be great, your message may be profound, your script may be beautiful, but it didn't come from your heart. So what did not come from my heart will never touch my audience heart. So I learned this from Toastmasters, that we have to be ourselves. We have to speak from the heart. That's why in today's age of technology, in today's age of fast digital space, we need Toastmasters more than any time in history. Just to be ourselves, to speak from our heart, to express from our heart. I may be an idiot, I may be ignorant, it's okay, but I must be myself. When I speak, when I do, there is no mismatch between my action between my speech and between my thinking. Over to you, Toastmaster Ganapath Narayan.
Thank you very much, Abdurrahim. Round of applause.
Thank you.
With this, I conclude my table topic session. And thank you all for your participation. And big round of applause to all the participants. Hey, dosti, hum nahi chodenge, todenge hum magar, mere saath na chodenge. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, sir. Well done. Thank you. Thank you, Ganapati, for bringing in so much light into something that everybody otherwise very fearful of, right? So, we are going to go into the business session right now, and I'm going to hand over the business session to our president, Owen Krasta. So, over to Owen. Owen is for the benefit of our guests, Owen is the president of the club, and he is one of the people who held ExCom roles, executive committee roles in the past as well. And Owen is the person who steers our ex-committee team right now, and he's our president. I think he's also a veteran member, and he's going to conduct a business session today. And the business session is all about what we have accomplished in the last couple of weeks as an executive committee. And the president will lead this meeting for those of you who don't know what we do. Over to Owen.
Thank you, Manuel, for letting even guests know what the business session is all about. And let me start with person to my next Toastmaster Roy. Could you please tell about the VP membership? Is there any updates? How would we are?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. As of now, we have 30 plus 31 active members. We also secured the complete DCP point for the membership. So, thank you. It's no doubt that it's a collective effort of all members to bring their friends as our guests or connect. If anybody, if the members are getting along with and they talk, you can always refer our club to your friends or whoever you meet in many network events. So that way, it's effective way to get new members for our club. And thanks to everyone for that. Though we are 31 members now, we need to grow further. And I'm sure that in the next scope, the new team will take over from this number to further, many more. Other than that, I have no other comments, and thanks to all guests who attended the meeting today. And we look forward to your membership in future. Thank you.
Thank you. So Emmanuel, you are the next person, very traditional ExCom. So any point from your side?
I don't have any points to share as a VPPR, but yeah, we're just working on the regular stuff, flyers, updation, and things like that. That's all for this.
So treasury is also not around, other offices are not there, and VP education just left. One good thing I would like to announce, I've already mentioned in the group, we are DCP 10 points we have achieved. Thanks to Toastmaster Saji, he has completed his level 2. That concludes all the 6 education area DCP points. So we are perfect 10. We achieved the real part of president select, I guess, 3 months back. We are one or two or three clubs back, and we were the first ones to accomplish that. Thank you all for your efforts. And our next meeting will be 7th June. So that's today I said our next meeting, what we are going to have is we achieved all the DCP points. We are going with different pattern. We will be having a debate. Our debate moderator will be our Toastmaster debate. And we'll have a keynote speech from Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. And the event will be MC by, compared by our Toastmaster Roy. And we will have DTM Rizvi and our general evaluator for that meeting. So that will be our last meeting of this term, and then we will get into our AGM. So AGM will be on 28th of June. And also another announcement, we won't be having Crown Plaza for our meetings for the upcoming 2 months, July and August, because it's going for refurbishment and they don't have a place. Earlier, they used to give us the spice restaurant. Now they don't have the space to give it to us for the meeting as well. So we are looking out for options. If you can come and tell me also, it's good. I already saw a couple of places. One in the higher side, it's equivalent to Hilton is there, but and they're going to be very strict with their charges and all. So each entry person comes in and they will charge them and all. So there won't be any leniency. So we have to look into this option, otherwise there is hotel device there with some other service. We just working on it. And GMI order as well we placed and it was dispatched on 30th of April. It has not yet reached. So once it's there, then we will be having them. Especially we ordered the next officer's pins and medal and some ribbons and all for us as well as for the delegates. And we made use of $135 also that we had coupon, and it's very tedious process to go through. We have to send it by courier and all those things we did hassle, but finally they received it and they acknowledged the order on 30th of April. So that's it from my side. And about the standing, we said yes. And important part is we have to read we have already sent our secretary has sent the meeting minutes. And the detailed ones are already there in the group. However, we will ask the standing secretary to read out some bullet points of our previous meeting.
Short minutes of meeting 483, which was held on 17th May 2024. Meeting was called to order and the guests were introduced by President Toastmaster Ovik Krasta. Theme of the meeting was the child in you. President Toastmaster Ovik Krasta opened his address with a beautiful song cherishing the charm and joy of childhood. After agenda adoption, President introduced the Toastmaster of the day. All the role players were introduced by Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Murli Devgan. The education session had 3 speakers. Toastmaster Hita Krishna presented her icebreaker, and DTM Rekha Uttam and Toastmaster Saji Kumar presented their project speeches. The speeches were evaluated by DTM Manoj Pandey, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, and Toastmaster Emmanuel Williams, respectively. Table topic master, Toastmaster Vivek Tilakam was introduced, who kicked off the table topic sessions. In business session, President announced about the next meeting, which is scheduled on 31st May 2024. AGM is confirmed. President, while answering the query from Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, informed that the club has so far earned the 9.5 DCP points, and after the completion of level 2 by Dr. Saji on 31st May, will achieve all the 10 DCP points. This was followed by the announcement of EXCOM elect for the year 2024-25 by the nomination committee. Toastmaster Subrahman Swaminathan announced the names of the new executive committee members in a very unique way. Toastmaster Farooq Fidel did the general evaluation. The awards were declared and handed over. The meeting was adjourned at 6:30 p.m.
Thank you. Thank you. Standing secretary, you will be there as a secretary for the next term. And she's gaining the real experience. So, thank you for that. So about another thing on AGM 28, sorry.
Adoption of minutes of
Yeah, that will. Yeah. So could you please someone second the meeting minutes?
I have a small suggestion.
Yeah.
Last meeting, the past president has introduced the new committee members.
Yeah.
Can you scoop the members?
Yes. This is there in the already in the detailed meeting minutes.
Yes, yes.
Bullet points. Because we don't want to spend lots of
Yeah.
reading. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So you'll be, you are not there. in the meeting.
I am
Panambalam.
I'm not more.
Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu, second. And yeah, those must Panambalam. And about the financial reports, we have already submitted the reports and only like next meeting, once we get it, we will submit all the invoices. That's it. Other part, we already onboarded the auditor. And the inventory as well, as I discussed with you, I'll be adding whatever the order, so that I'll put it in stock.
Submit to Levin.
Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, so any other points from our members? AGM location. Mostly, I could give up. Return is a bit expensive. We have to stick to-
Can we check any, well, Manama Toastmasters doing their meeting? Can we check that portal?
Which one?
Manama Toastmasters?
One of the others, sweets, yes.
Purple fruits, they are
Yes, I heard the BTM Baker not a good review for this. Okay, so that's it. In that case, we are done with the session. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Patel.
Okay. So I realized that we cutting through the time a little too thin today. And so what I'm gonna do is I want to ask a couple of questions as we are interacting about the growth of Toastmasters. So I'm gonna ask a question and anybody can answer these couple of questions that I'd like to know what your points of view are. Okay? So one of the things that I have realized that everywhere I've gone in Toastmasters, there's a shortage of the young people joining Toastmasters. I don't know whether how many of you have noticed that, right? Look around in any club and see how many young people are there a part of the club. The Gen Zs, the less than 30-year-olds, right? And which is a challenge for the sustainability of this brand in the future, especially at least in Bahrain, right? So I'd like one of you to tell me, how can we stay more relevant and attract more youngsters to be a part of the Toastmasters? Anybody?
I will take that.
Please go.
Yeah. Simply saying, I planned, executed a thing called Mission 52 during my term as division director in this. Mission 52 was enrolling 52 new Toastmasters into Division B clubs. I had 14 clubs when I took over. And as on date, we reached to 80 that number. 52 was planned, 18. And all of them, the 75% is between 20 to 30 of age group. So how we did is purely reaching out to social media, not the conventional way of doing the things. Even some clubs meeting were not available for Toastmasters to know that it's happening, but was reaching out to the audience, what we are targeting for. So the best thing what I learned in the process is that reaching out to universities, reaching out to Bahrain Polytechnic, where I myself was involved in 2 days for giving my introduction about Toastmasters, and even countries like Iraq, where Prabodha was a previous area director, we enrolled new blood into the fraternity. This is a time we often say that the public speaking and things are a soft skill. We need to sell it in a way that it is an essential skill now, no more a soft skill, it become an essential skill. So how we propagate about ourselves is what matters most. So my take on that is this brand will sustain forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deacon Patandran, for that. I liked your closing line and the optimism that came through that. Thank you so much. So the other question I'd like to ask is, and if anybody can take this question, if there's 2 things that you would like to change about Toastmasters, what would those 2 things be from your experience?
Yeah, change. Change is one is, I guess, this man is, he will be,
Yeah.
I don't like the way the spotlight came on me. But I'll say one thing. When I joined Toastmasters, it was not, the programs were not virtual. We had those books. We had the CC and the CL books.
Speeches, yeah, we had used it and it's being continued now. The CL kind of stuff, those books, at that time, the book stage was better when compared to now. This was taking leadership or any one of that. So my actual point is a kind of a way in which other people can also see that we are progressing in leadership. A book is a great method which I feel sad that it disappeared. If not that, something else, something or the other that would bring that essence back. I thought this is a trick that Toastmasters has missed.
Leadership, especially on the CL and the 10% second chance.
Yes, please. Something I would like to change is this, the agenda. It goes stereotypes and year after year, the same thing gets followed. And somebody tries to change it and then AMI says no. Not controversial, even I have seen that we have changed even the look of our agenda and we are told that no, it has to be strictly in this color, this format and all that. So then that creativity goes. So that is something we should change.
I was told that very strictly, so I was not allowed to move a single thing after that, and that's why you can see there's a little bit of a design thing on, that's still there, that, so, because I was not allowed to move two pages, so that was something. Alright. Thank you so much, everybody, for your contribution, and I'm just going to give away something from my brand as a souvenir for your contributions. This is It's got quotes that I've written out and things like that for my own brand and my organization of training, coaching, public speaking. Right. So I'm going to now call upon our general evaluator for the day, DTM Nair, who's very renowned in the Toastmasters fraternity. And like you saw, he testified about how he's been empowering the growth of Toastmasters. I think my association with him started off as a stranger back when he had registered for one of my workshops in December. And when I was talking to him on the phone and calling him to the workshop, he was like, I'm too busy in annual with all the contests. And I was like, this man doesn't want to attend the workshop. I don't know where he's going to be busy, but when he actually wanted to attend it in the first place. And then I later realized, oh, this is Pitambaram in the Toastmasters. So that's how I got to know. But thank you so much. And then I understood you're also a veteran over here. So life is very strange how we meet people. But thank you so much. And I will call upon our Pitambaram to give us the general evaluation of today's session.
Can you close this one, please?
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmasters of WMC, and most honored guests. Good evening to you all. Good evening. I gave my introduction to him. Okay, it's not that I didn't give, but he used his own tricky way to introduce me. Thank you very much, Manuel, for that. I know I go on the podium about 15 minutes late than scheduled. I don't know. I will be trying to stick into that. Okay. First thing first, timer, Toastmaster Vivek, would you mind announcing the time taken by the speakers and table topic commentators, please?
Thank you, General Evaluator. So for the speed session, Toastmaster and the community has taken 5 minutes, 9 seconds, qualified. Toastmaster Setting Mark has taken 6 minutes, 57 seconds, qualified. And then for table topics, Toastmaster Curriculum has taken 2 minutes, 29 seconds, and 0.8 milliseconds. You can qualified. Toastmaster Mahalakshmi and guest
Lakshmi has taken 1 minute, 29 seconds. Guest Abu Bakr has taken 1 minute, 27 seconds. Toastmaster Boris Curry has taken 1 minute, 46 seconds. Toastmaster Prabhu has taken 1 minute, 38 seconds. Toastmaster Abdul Rahim has taken 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Up to you.
Thank you very much. I want we will have practice of voting. We did so. You can do that.
No, we will do it little later, but now attendance is out, so please fill the attendance form for the members. Yeah.
Okay.
So shall I go ahead with this session? We will go through.
Thank you. So we have 2 speeches today, and it's time for the evaluators to comment on the speaker's performance. Let us invite the first evaluator, that is Toastmaster Murali Udayakar, to evaluate yet to break or broken, whatever the ice it was.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Straight part was the topic for the event or for the speech was icebreaker or breaking the ice, whatever. I still can't get it, but that was the topic, and I was searching for the topic, I could say. And the best part was when the speaker introduced how the ice is being broken in her place by her son, by having that thin layer of ice. And she was the first one to break the ice in her family. Now that is an insight what you immediately get of the speaker. The objective today for the speaker was to introduce herself to all of us. And I don't think any of us want to know her past because she has given it in a small span of 5 minutes and 9 seconds. She managed to give it out to each and every one of us. I believe all of us managed to know her as how she was when she was a young girl or a little girl, from a little childhood to what she is today. Normally, when a speech is done for the first time, you're a little careful about introducing humor and then also having a message. What I saw today was that you had humor by saying that, till late, your son hasn't broken the ice. Well, that was something that was very nicely put. That is humor. Second one was that there was a message of asking each and every one of us to be what you actually are or what you want to be. So don't bother about what people have judged you in the past or judging you, but you enjoy yourself. That is the message what I have got from speech. When it came to confidence, very confidently spoke. Language, diction was excellent. But you can't miss out that she is somebody who enjoys what she reads, writes, and wants to try everything possible, which is commendable again. The only suggestion that I had was that when you look down and speak, the first impression that people get is that you're trying to recollect in your mind what is going to come next. That is the giveaway. That's the only thing that I felt for a speaker of your caliber, which you have in you, which all of us are going to witness very soon. That is something that you could avoid. But I feel that you are somebody destined to go that extra bit and make it all happen right here for all of us to witness. That is something that I feel your confidence level, the way you introduce yourself, the way you carried yourself, spoke, message, humor, it's a package. We're going to witness more of it. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you. For evaluating and I speaker speech. Toastmaster Anita Kumari, a jack of all trades, that's what I would say, because she explained all the details of her. Thank you very much. Since the evaluator touched the points, I don't want to say anything more on that. The second evaluator was Toastmaster Sajid. Second speaker was Toastmaster Sajid Kumar. Doing presentation mastery level 2, project 3. introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. Evaluator is Toastmaster Yash, my good friend, please.
Inspector, General Director, my colleagues, good afternoon. We all know the ineffable relationship between mentor and mentee. But today, Toastmasters Saji showed us one totally different aspect of mentor-mentee relationship. Can anybody tell us? We speak about this mentor-mentee relationship in Toastmasters, but what he showed us that this relationship exists beyond the Toastmastering as well. At your office, at your home, everywhere you have got the mentors. You are the mentee or you are the mentor at many different levels, not just in Toastmastering. So that was a wonderful takeaway point from this speech today. And that too, he told us in a very humorous way. From start to beginning, start to end, there was a humor in his speech, isn't it? So we all enjoyed the speech. Now, what did I learn from his speech especially? The biggest point I learned today from his speech was how to deliver a speech and be at ease. He came here and he did not deliver the speech, he told us the story. I just felt like he was sitting in his drawing room, his family and friends were sitting around, and somebody casually asked him, like, how did you join Toastmaster? And he started telling his story, like what happened and how did he join it. Not many Toastmasters can do this Toastmasters. So wonderful aspect. I'm definitely going to incorporate this in my speech. Now, if you want to take this to a higher level, what you can do is add little bit of voice modulation and facial expression. There were some places, some points where, Dr. Babu, you were surprised by Dr. Babu explaining that slide, or when people appreciated you when you did the same thing. Those were the few things where you could have added some voice modulation and that could have taken your speech or rather the story at a higher level. One more thing which I also do that mistake, probably even now also I do that mistake, which Rekha ma'am pointed out, and she said in this way that I don't know, yes, why Toastmasters need to bend when they want to stress anything. So even that also I noticed today when you are taught, maybe if it is a video, you can just check that again once again. Many people do that, like when they speak, they bend their knees a bit. And that is something you and me and everybody needs to avoid. So all in all, fellow Toastmasters, be careful. One more humor king is making. Toastmasters Sandy, wish you all the best. We look forward to listening to you more and more.
The two great speeches are equally important and great evaluations by seasoned Toastmasters. I would say that. I know. I'm a bit afraid of, before I quote the title, I'm a bit afraid of him because when I completed my level 1 speech, research and presentation, he was there as evaluator. And I'm still recording and trying to incorporate those comments into digest. Please.
Don't I ever got a better intro, And that you were just saying 2 evaluators time. All right, Toastmaster Murli have taken 3 minutes 15 seconds, and Toastmaster Yashodhan has taken 3 minutes 27 seconds. I'll just use the opportunity to say something else. In the business session, we have taken in total 8.85 minutes, of which the VPM took 1 minute 30 seconds, EPPR was a 15-second job,
The secretary's report was done in 1 minute 24 seconds. And the rest, the president took at 5 minutes 66 seconds. 5.66. So, yeah, 6 minutes, 6 seconds. He had quite enough to say, but the point was, it is within the 10 minute business session time slot again. So that's great. Over to you.
Thank you very much. I will not be calling you anymore. So let me quickly go through the things what I witnessed today. I am part of this meeting. The day president approached me a couple of weeks back, saying that can you be the general evaluator on actually the previous meeting, but then I apologize for that. Then the next question was, can you be on 31st of May as a general evaluator? Then there is no chance because it's a point blank shoot. So I agreed for that. And I'm so happy here. Earlier I used to be here in WMC meetings as a secret agent, as a judge many a time for the contest. So first time here as a role player, thank you very much, Mr. President, for including me and inviting me for this evening. Now, your agenda, I will start from here. Agenda is your brand. Someone was saying how we can look for modification of agenda. One of the things what I noticed in the agenda is that everything is picture perfect. One suggestion I have in the agenda is that if you read the club mission, there is a developing word which is extra that is we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. And that is an actual sentence. Developing is the which I suggest you may remove it because it is not the real club.
Great. Thank you.
And next, I want to give a disclaimer that these comments, whatever I make, it is my personal opinion. What I have seen, what I have experienced, or what I feel that it could be better if we can do it. So the club can decide whether these are reasonable or need to be implemented or not. Sergeant Adams said first time she was doing it, though she is not here, she started on time with all the details required to be given as a Sergeant Adams and read out even the club mission. And that is a time when I noticed that because I'm into this, so I know that each and every word in the club mission. So I think how come this developing is there in that sentence? So immediately I verified it. That was the only thing for the suggestion, Sergeant Adams. And to bring the energy, if the opening time, if Sergeant Adams asks the club members to repeat that club mission, and become an icebreaker because when we are joining, the moment you read and others to repeat it, it will give a different sort of energy. That is what I experienced personally. Now, President was invited to the control of the scenario situations, well introduced guests, all these procedures were followed very well. And in the presidential address, I think the most referred person or individual, great personality in Toastmasters is always Albert Einstein. Multiple times we hear this story, but still we are eager to listen to that with a new set of ears of what next is. So that was well done. And incorporating Toastmasters founder and Toastmasters movement all together. I have a suggestion to Mr. President, that is, we are commemorating the 100th year of Toastmasters International. So try to include at least one line for the founder and the organization in general, which would add value to your presidential address. Agenda adoption was done. I was looking for it was written agenda adoption first, then presidential address, but then it was quickly changed and recorded. Toastmaster of the day. Wait, you have time. Because you are the speakers. Both of them were evaluated by the speakers. sorry, evaluated by the respective evaluators, so I don't have to go much into that. What I suggest for the evaluators is that to comment whether the speaker met the speech objective or not. Once the speaker is done, so that is how we recognize, okay, I have completed, I met my objective, I can redo or go for the next project if it is so. So if you comment in there's a 10-second way of adding that you met the objective, that would give an indication to the speaker that yes, I met my speech objective. And any comment on that could be given as well, whether how you can better, or in case of you feel as an evaluator, anything need to be told on the speech objective. Photo shoot and coffee break was fantastic, right? Thank you very much. Table topic session was very interesting. We had 6 speakers, 6 topics, and ended up with that great song, all-time hit. I have a suggestion to table topic master. We said table topic, so it's no more a question. It's a topic. So because the moment you put a question mark comes whether I should take it out. So table topic, there's a difference between a topic and a question, I believe so. So try to address it as the next topic instead of saying next question. Sorry, I am not educating you in that way. Please apologize from my side if you feel, but this is what I wanted to tell. Because all these evaluations happens not only for that particular role players, for others as well. So for me, I'm learning something, and for others to incorporate if needed. Business session was covered extremely well by the president, reporting by the officers, calling for the minutes of the meeting of the previous meeting. Everything was done. But I feel there is a order we need to follow in the thing. First is the minutes of the previous meeting, then start from the reporting pattern. What I have seen and what I have been told and taught is that it starts from the surgeon at town to the treasurer, secretary, VP PR, VP membership, VP education, and then the president. So if we follow that order instead of looking first who or how it is, so we can follow that way. Even for the secretary to record the minutes, it will be much easier. That's what I feel. So if you can look into that matter, appreciate it. I have a few general things to say about the meeting. One is taking off ownership of the podium or the stage. And Toastmasters, Vivek, please, you don't look at me. When you look at me, I feel like I'm giving my first speech and he's evaluating me. It says not AAA approach, AAA battery. AAA approach, that is approach, accept and acknowledge. When a person is coming to the podium or to the stage, define which area need to be used. Normally, from the far end of the podium, the person approaches. Accepted by the person on the podium by shaking hands or by showing the acceptance, and acknowledge that person whoever is invited you or introduced you. When you give your speech in the beginning or after making your opening statement, acknowledge that person who introduced you. Say, for example, Toastmaster of the day introduced, came here, left from the place, then you didn't do that, but I'm just giving you an example. Okay.
No.
Because I noticed when Sarjanata was inviting president, she was leaving from the floor and when the president was coming and the hand should shake to somewhere here in this area. So to avoid that, then once you do this, acknowledge, and that is how even you see that if you are standing till the time the contest chair or someone says they won't sit even. They stand waiting for that acknowledgement. That is what I wanted to tell you one thing. Second thing is clapping. When introduced, from the moment a person standing up from the seat till reaches on the stage, we need to clap to encourage that person whoever is coming. And while going back as well, till the time they reach back to their seat. So if we do that, not only the person get encouraged, we also give a bit of exercise for ourselves. The third thing what I noticed is adoption of the agenda and the things. We are just raising the hand and it is considered that by showing of hand itself is adoption and seconded. I suggest to follow the procedures by stating, because we have guests, so they need to understand what is all about, what is what we are doing. So if the person whoever is, no, I'm looking at Vivek, he was the first person, no, this is the Vivek, I evaluate you, Toastmaster Vivek. So when you recognize yourself, say, I, Toastmaster so and so, move to adopt the agenda with the changes or without the changes. So that may bit more professional how we can do it. And seconding, just say I second, that itself is sufficient when you come to seconding of the thing. But making the first motion is important, complete statement of the motion is recommended for education purpose. Suggestions are more. I have one more to say. Team-based speeches. I was discussing something with Vivek when we were having our coffee break. A club of like this potential, like WMC. I wish to give a challenge for you all, that is nominating a hot seat speaker, which I personally practiced in few clubs and it comes with beautiful results. That is like a what we call Vivek plus version of table topic, right?
Table topics plus plus.
Table topic plus plus. It is like, see, a speaker is given a topic, just say couple of hours before the meeting, and he come and deliver a speech on the theme. Initially, it could be challenging, but it's rewarding. That's what I experienced. And when I dig into the deep details of these procedures, what I learned is that before 1970s, even Toastmasters contests were happening this way. The speech topics were given, international speech topics were given in that manner before. So it's really take out our ability to be creative, but it not just like a beating around the bush and coming and saying something, no. You need to identify who all can do these things. Let them try this, and once you are into that, you will realize what's the difference into, then we can implement for others as well. So it's just a suggestion that I have for the club, because your potential is too high. So I expect much more from you all. Now, the last person I need to praise here is Toastmaster Emmanuel. His own typical way of introducing role players, taking the entire show or stealing the entire show, I would say. It was tremendous, I would say. Because the moment you were introduced, and you said you were doing it for the first time.
In the last 1 year.
In the last 1 year for the first time. Yes, I did realize it, because when you introduced first, you were introducing the speaker, then you introduce the evaluator, then you again call the speaker. So then you should yourself, no, I need to change it, switch it here. That is a change what I like, because the moment you, for the second speaker, you just said about the speech and came to the evaluator, then introduce the speaker. That is the right way it's supposed to be. Thank you very much for that. And I think we all need to give a big round of applause to this gentleman for his performance today. Before I wind up, I need to take the report from our grammarian first. So may I invite the grammarian Toastmaster Hita, please.
Good evening, General Evaluator, hello Toastmasters and guests. It's now time for the grammarian report. Here is my general observations. Overall, I observed a strong use of language throughout the meeting. Many speakers used vivid and descriptive language that enhanced their messages. I particularly enjoyed some phrases like breaking patterns that brains wants to follow. Another phrase, embrace yourself in entirety. What you have in front of us, this is the truth. Something profound happened. All these phrases were both creative and impactful. I noticed a few areas for improvement. For example, but still hesitate to join Toastmasters can be used as a little hesitated. And another one, just improv in speaking, prompting in speaking. And another one, he asked for repeat, can be used as he asked to repeat. Then next one, take up the MC, can be used as took up the role of MC. Yeah, this would have been more appropriate. The word of the day, ineffable, was used by total 7 Toastmasters. Well done. Toastmaster Owen used it for 1 time, and Toastmaster Vivek 2 times. Toastmaster Emmanuel 1 time. Toastmaster Sadi used for 2 times. Toastmaster Ganapati 1 time. General Evaluator Pidambaran sir used 1 time. And Toastmaster Yesh used 1 time, which is really appreciated. Then, yeah, that's it. Thank you for all your attention to the language, and I hope my feedback is helpful for our future speeches. Back to you.
Thank you very much. The word of the day was ineffable and used multiple times. What was the other word which we heard today the maximum time? Other than, I think even if I'm not wrong, almost the same count. 6. No, affable? No. Introvert was the word heard here multiple times today, right? So that was like contrary to the way it is. Next, let us take the report from our archive. Please, Toastmaster Subramani. Please, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. And the art counter, Dr. Anita, she's around 3 to 4 times. And the word and used quite sometimes. Maybe it's the second of the speech actually. After something. Then other than that, it's fine from the Anita and Dr. Saji. He used it quite 4 to 5 times. Okay, and the repeated words, it's our, like, I. Those are the repeated words. So it's 2 times repeated words. Then all the subjects.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, my role as general evaluator is over. If I think of
Ballots are out now.
okay, the ballots are out, so you can vote for that. So I got a time to think whether I want to say it or not, what I thought actually, but I will say it again. If I get it, or if I decide myself that I want to be part of the 7th club, then it will be WMC on any day. And it was wow, thank you very much. And back to you, Master of Ceremonies. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, DJ Patandran, for making up for the time that we've exceeded. But thank you so much for the concise and very, very well structured evaluation that you gave us. So I think the ballots are out for voting. And in the meantime, if we could ask some of the feedback from our guests today as to how did you feel this meeting was, and would like to get your thoughts. So, Maha, do you want to share it? In your second visit today? Yes.
Good evening, again. It's always been a pleasure to attend these sessions. I was part of IOGC back in the days when I was in my 12th grade. Initially, I used to think it used to be a bit boring. I mean, like before I entered, right? I'm like, it's just speeches. What's the great deal about it? But like, as and when you experience it, you understand how fun it is to listen to people and to talk in front of so many people. So, all in all, it's been a lovely experience. Thank you guys, everyone. But maybe, yeah, everything.
Who-
Yeah, I mean, I like the session. I've been part of other clubs before, and this is one of the club I will definitely be taking up my membership and I'll be joining it.
Thank you. Feroz?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, this was a very knowledgeable session for me. And I came to many aspects which we needed in our daily life. So it was very helpful. Yeah, that's one.
Thank you. So all of you have voted, then I think it's time for me also to wrap up for this evening without further ado. So one of the things that I always start and I always ask people is that what is it that you would like to, I mean, when it comes to change and asking people to come out of your comfort zone, what I want you to think about is, like I started today, what are you here for? Primarily, what are you coming and doing at Toastmasters? And reflect, because it's a lot of time, money, no doubt, and the efforts that you're putting in here. Are you really getting what you wanted from Toastmasters? That's something that you have to reflect, regardless of the time that you've spent over here. And are you really in your comfort zone? And there's nothing wrong, in being in the comfort zone. So the question is not about it's right or wrong. It's about, do you want to grow? Because success is something that comes to people who want to grow, not for people who want to be in the comfort zone, right? So I think you need to have a growth mindset to attain success. So I'm going to finish off this evening by, because I told success. Now, success is a very, very ambiguous term for a lot of us, because most people on this planet measure success by either name, fame, or wealth, right? But success is nothing but you achieving your goals. If you always end up comparing yourself with an Elon Musk or a Bill Gates, you're never going to be successful, at least to a large extent, right? So if you always compare your success with somebody else's, you're going to look smaller. Your success is whether you've reached your goals, whether you've come out of your comfort zone, and have you achieved what you wanted to achieve for yourself. And let me tell you, being successful does not necessarily mean being happy. A lot of people think that in order to be happy, you can be successful. So last year when I was watching this interview with Shah Rukh Khan, when his movie Pathaan released, the interviewer asked him actually, now that the movie is doing very well, are you very happy about it? He just looked back and told her, who told you that happiness and success go hand in hand? Right? Because if you look at most successful people, they're not happy because they are successful, but they enjoy the process of getting there. So sometimes while you focus on the destination, it's also about the journey that you take up, right? So do not think that if you want to be successful, you will be happy, but it's the adrenaline that you get. It's that rush that you get to be successful above everybody else. That's what makes you happy, and that's what makes you stand out, and that should be your goal to get out of your comfort zone. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Actually, I expected him to come. He was standing there and doing something there. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Manuel, for doing this fabulously. And give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Time to give awards, make on stage. Okay. Emmanuel, you also come up as a TMOD General Evaluator, please. And may I call a chartered member as well as here. These days, he's not attending the meetings very often. Ganapati. I will also call him on stage. We had some technical, lights are less. That side.
Now we realize.
No, it's not in this.
Yeah.
That's what I want
Yeah. I would good for the photographs as well. So, may I call upon Toastmasters Hita, because last time we didn't give you a certificate for last meeting, best speaker, you won the best speaker.
Who will take photo? They have to take photo.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Get photo.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Thank you.
This one for the previous meeting. Okay. So today's meeting, the best speaker award, before that, I will give you the icebreaker ribbon. Toastmaster Anita Kumari, please come up. Thank you. No.
You don't have to again.
Yeah, wait, yeah, stay there. Yeah. Okay, the best speaker award goes to Dr. Anita Kumari. No, it should be you. Let's say you. You are. Thank you. Okay, best debate topic award. It goes to Toastmaster Panabala. And general evaluator, please give him the ribbon, and Toastmaster Ganapati, please give him.
Long time. And I'm so happy that you hold it my side. Together we hold it. Yeah, that's all, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And next goes to best evaluator award, goes to Toastmaster Yashodhana Benka.
Yeah.
You all coming this side.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's about to fly.
Thank you. Okay, the best timer accountant Ramiri award goes to Toastmaster Hita Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one. Before the last one, I will give you certificate of appreciation, DTM Pitamaran, for coming all the way and doing the honor of general evaluator. So I will give you this.
Yeah. Bharatanatyam, huh?
Yes. Taking the positions. The last one, Toastmaster of the day, got it. Between TMOD, all the three are here, general evaluator and TTM. So Toastmaster Emmanuel Williams.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So any comments, or shall I do the honors of the closing?
Yes.
I adjourn the meeting 484 March.